I almost did that thing that I did for about 1.5 years, where I thought, I'll just wait for this moment before I start doing a video. But you know what? Behaviour correction. Let's just video what we're doing. So in this one, maybe I've got to make some hub adapters really quickly. So we've got a touring car that's going to dyno, and the hubs are a centre lock. And normally, when you go to like a Dynapack hub dyno, it bolts onto the 5 studs. But the Group A cars have got drive pins because it's centre lock, but the drive pins are welded on the back. So I didn't want to undo the tacks, pull the studs out, and then just use a big spacer, because I didn't want to grind away in a completely original works hub. So we've got to make some little adapters which basically just centre lock on with a nut, locate on the drive pins, and then there's 5 threaded holes on a 114.3mm PCD that you can chuck your hub dyno on. Unfortunately, it's Friday, I have got kids, and the vehicle is getting shipped to the dyno on Tuesday morning. So obviously I can go up to the dyno with them separately the next day, but it'd be good to check they fit. So I'm kind of just rushing this through at the moment. The main thing in the video is fuel system for this. I've redone a fuel system on a GT car. We ordered a tank for a Group A car, and I ordered another tank for my Group A car. I also designed some plates to go on top of it, ordered all the fittings, got pumps and everything turning up. So I'll just kind of do, I think I'll do it for a couple of weeks. I'll film for a couple of weeks, and we'll cobble together the system, and we'll go, oh, that looks nice, and we'll build. Yeah, it is cool. It's completely unnecessary, but it looks great. And here we have the same old story, don't we? So I'm not actually going to cover much of this. I'm gonna machine these. All the speeds and feeds will be very similar, and everything is going to be similar to the last couple of videos. So if you haven't watched those, go and watch them. I'm going to try and knock through these as quick as I can, and I'm just going to show you the result on the other end. There you go, it's the first sesh done. So the wheel nuts go in there, that goes against the original hub. These are holes so the pins can fit through, and then these are where you can put conventional wheel bolts. Although they're by 1.5 rather than 1.25, because the threads on the hubs are 1.5, but on real Skylines they're 1.2. Anyway, there's loads of wheel bolts you can get at 1.5, so it's not really a problem. I just need to run the other bit, which is facing that off. It'll whiz around, and then it will make 5 larger holes just so there's a bit of extra clearance when you're fitting it up against. But that's good, isn't it? And doing quite well. Look, 3, because that one's wrong. Well, while I've got, this is warming up, hence the racket. While I've got the opportunity, future me here, let's cut that out. Actually, I filmed a bit of a here's the space, but then I've got a lathe. It hasn't turned up yet, but I had to move stuff around, and I took down a bench, and so it actually all looks different in here. So I thought, for the sake of 60 seconds filming with my phone, I'd show you. There you go, that's the kind of workshop car space. Sorry, I need to mop the floor. But I've been very busy doing bits and bobs. So it's been great. I can have space for my car or a customer car in here, goes on the lift, reverse engineer stuff, do the computer work in there, and then manufacture it in either CNC and or fabrication stuff. So everything under one roof. Not loads of room for cars, but that's not really, I don't think that's really how this is going to work. Maybe, not sure. But definitely room to do the activities I do. Just about enough room. It's just about right. Oh. Yeah, so nice bench space, cleaning and blasting stuff, fabricatey bits, loads of storage, and eventually I've got a new compressor that will go up there out of the way. and then room for activities. Yeah, I need a few bits. Compressor up there. I've got a manual lathe going down there, and I need to make some kind of metal racks to get all this off and make things a little bit tidier. But it's good space. I need to mop it. There's a year's worth of being busy on the floor, but it's a good space. Back to the video, and then that's us. Pain in the HAAS, mate. It won't go into high gear, it's stuck in low gear. I know they like to share solenoid valves at the back and all sorts, so I need to get this turret off, which will come off. It will come, bloody hope it'll come off. But I've done the fan up real good at the top, so I can't, and I'm kind of over working on this right this second. So I was just going to make some little spacers. I made the hub adapters, they're all good. I was going to make some little spacers up. Going to make some spacers out of that just in case it needed to sit real flat, but I mean hopefully that's not a problem for the dyno. So maybe I'll just try and avoid doing that. I have to avoid doing it, the mill's broken. I would really like to get that top off though, but you know, sometimes you can't. Yeah, there we go. So maybe that's a good time to, do you know what? I'm going to worry about dyno in this car, then I'm going to come back. I need to do some pedal boxes in there. I need to show you my fuel system there. Build some of it up. I'll get the fan off over the next few days and we'll just park this. I'm going to order a gearbox shift solenoid anyway. So it's here, and then we'll do that next week and maybe fix it. That's the reality of used CNC machines. I say that, to be honest, I think if you finance a HAAS and that happens, you're still just as financially. Okay, maybe some more reality of, I know I was going to put it down and not look at it, but I had a quick look at it and then things spiraled for 2 weeks. And I actually had a couple of people say, oh, it's good, but the last couple of videos, it shows a true reality of trying to run a machine shop. It does, and it goes a lot worse all of the time. I had a look at the machine, and the problem was it wasn't shifting in and out gears. So I took the solenoids off the back and gave them a good clean out and put them back together, and it didn't do it. Still didn't work. So I found I needed to rebuild the shift solenoid, which is inside here just under the gearbox. So that's spindle motor, gearbox, spindle, right? And the gear shift solenoid is about there. So there you go, 60 kilogram spindle motor had to come off, took the entire gearbox apart, rebuilt all of that, rebuilt all of everything else. Happy days, put it back together. Obviously didn't work. So had to replace these boys here. Those solenoids. But the solenoids that I had on aren't supported anymore. You can't get them Norgren ones. So I had to buy a new manifold for the solenoids. So I got a quote from HAAS, but they wanted £1,800. So I got a second-hand manifold and then new Mac valves. And now it's back in action again. And whilst I was there, I took all the doors off and bought new screens, so it will be a bit clearer for me as well. So it's been a really bad, it's only 2 minutes, according to the bit that's recording up here that you can't see. It's only 2 minutes, but it's been about 2.5, 3 weeks of absolute hell. But we're back together now. Hopefully it'll work. I'll rebuild the front, fill it up with oil, and then I'll decide if I'm actually going to put anything in the video or not. Just full disclosure, not having a great time at the moment. So we'll have to leave the other exciting stuff for the next video. I really need to get on with these, and I've got the full batch of hubs here now. So I think I've spoken to a few people about the previous ones that I've done. There was an amount of confusion over what's what, so and why I'm doing the machining like this. So now I can just show you, can't I, how it's all going to work. This is the fixture in the machine that I made in the last couple of videos. That is a hub blank. So the wheel goes on this side, centre lock, On the other side, you have two bearings that are in the magnesium upright. They come as spun parts from a company that I use, and then I get the spline sparked in by another company down south. Both are fantastic. That is hardened EN19. So, you can see that's a good fit in there. It's a spun part, so it's quite hard to hold on to. So that is why I did it like this. So for the simple drilling operations, it's just got a clamping ring. I torque them all up to 60 Newton meters. Don't know why. Just kind of sounds about right, doesn't it? I think these are M12. There's what, 10 of them. 60 sounds about right. What do you go for? Go on, put it in the comments. On something you've made yourself out of the M3. Go on, let's see how brave you are. I think 60's a sweet spot, to be honest. There we go. Good news. Put a new glass screen in here, look, so it's got brand new polycarbonate in each one. I mean, the mill works, so that's good news as well, isn't it? But yeah, brand new polycarbonate. Look at that. What time? I haven't put the handles on yet. There was still that like faded red paint. And I thought whilst they're off, I'll just try and clean them up and put more red on. See how we get on. So this cycle, it drills all the holes for the studs, does some clearancing, taps them, chamfers everything, and then spits it out. So there's 5 holes for the drive pins that are threaded, and then there's 5 holes that are just lightning holes. So it just makes it lighter, and in the next stop we take out meat in the back, so that ends up going through. These 2 smaller ones, they're because you press the bearing on this side, one of the bearings, and there'd be no way to get it off otherwise. So these holes you can put a punch down and get the bearing off. And then it puts a little groove in here as well, so the drive shafts go in the back, and there's a little locator that goes in here with a bolt, and the drive shafts are actually bolted in. They haven't got little circlips, they're bolted in so they can't come out. So that's all the ops that we need to do in the first one. I check over each one before moving out, just in case there's any drift, any issues with any of the tools, any wear. Then put the next one on, 14 to do. And I'll show you how it goes in for op 2. We have this little locator pin that I turned up on that old Boxford, and we're doing the other side. So this locates like that. Lovely. We put 3 bolts in. I put 3 bolts in because I've only got 3 of these M10 by 1.25s. Don't know why I did it M10 by 1.25. I think it was just loaded in the machine, but hey ho, here we are, it's enough. Normally I actually just do that, check it by hand, and what this does is it takes quite a while, this one, but it goes in and scallops out all the lightning places, i.e. it takes a load of meat out the back so it's not as heavy, and then in the top it needs 4 castellations, and they're just for holding on to it when you do this end nut up. So if you remember, which you probably won't because it was at least a minute ago, we have 2 bearings on here, the outer bearing and the inner bearing. There's a spacer and they're retained by a lock nut that goes on the end. So yeah, that's castellated, so you can kind of hold on to it and do everything up. So it does those. Takes a while because this is hard, but it seems to work. Nice, huh? I do a big step down, but just take, I can't remember, like 0.1, 0.2 or something off to go through. So I load up more of the side of this tool. Because if I'm just down at the bottom, I found the end was rolling over real quick and you're not really using any of the cutting edge. So it works a lot better. And then I do a final finishing pass with a big step over, so you get the nice shiny bottom, as it were. And then on the top, I just go real easy with that 3mm lad. Works out really well though, doesn't it? So I have got quite a lot of these to do. As you can see here, I'm just working my way through them. So that's what Op 2 looks like. I will crack on with the rest and I'll show you Op 3 once I get there. Sorry about that noise, it happens, you know, these things happen. So centre lock hubs have clips that go through the end, right? So as a safety device, so as your nuts are undoing on track, because you don't know the difference between left and right, there'll be a little spring that stops it from, like an R clip or something that stops it from coming off. So the final op is to just do those. Now we just deburr, and then all of these will go to E-coat, which is like a 5-10 micron black coating that just stops them from corroding. They were just bare in period, but every single one I've played with has been pretty rusty so far, so it seems a shame not to give them a bit of love. So yeah, E-coat, it's like 5 microns or so electrostatic coating, just so that they last nicely. Good, huh? Like that, 14 off. Drive shafts fit. Just finishing up the inserts, and then I'll do spacers, and then I think I'll do a video of actually building it all up. I've got a machine coming so I can do the spacers, but more on that next time. Lovely to see you all. Sorry we didn't look at the fuel tank, but I'll show you next time. Look, loads of goodies for fuel tanks. Thank you.